Welcome to Gemara Academy. In this class, we will learn the Gemara Masechta Shabbos on the Vav Amud Aleph. Let's begin. So this Sugya is basically a brisa that discusses and describes the four Rishuyos of Shabbos: the Rishus HaYachid, Rishus HaRabim, a Karmelis, and a Mokim P'tur. Let's see it inside. Tana Rabbanan, the Rabbanan taught. Daled Rishuyos l'Shabbos. There are four Rishuyos, four domains for Shabbos: Rishus HaYachid, Rishus HaRabim, the Karmelis, and Mokim P'tur. We have a Rishus HaYachid, a Rishus HaRabim, a Karmelis, and a Mokim P'tur. Ve'ezu hi Rishus HaYachid. In which case, which situation is it a Rishus HaYachid? Charetz, a pit, shu omek yud, which is 10 tfachim deep, v'rachav daled, and is 4 tfachim by 4 tfachim wide. If it has these dimensions, at a minimum, the walls are 10 tfachim high or higher, and the size inside is 4 tfachim by 4 tfachim wide or larger, v'chein geder, and so to a fence, shehu gavoya yud, which is 10 tfachim high, v'rachav daled, and it's 4 tfachim by 4 tfachim wide on top of the fence. That area on top of the fence is the Rishus HaYachid. Zuhi Rishus HaYachid Gemara. This is a complete Rishus HaYachid. Ve'ezu hi Rishus HaRabim. In which case is it a Rishus HaRabim? Sratya, an intercity highway. Uplatya Gdela, a large public plaza. Umevayis HaMafulashim, and roads that are open on both ends. It's not a dead end, but rather they open up on each side, either to a public plaza or to an intercity highway. And they also need to be 16 amos wide. Zuhi Rishus HaRabim Gemara. This is a complete Rishus HaRabim. Now that we mentioned the first two Rishus, the Rishus HaYachid and Rishus HaRabim, and those are the two that are Minatera, we now mention the dinim related to these two Rishus. Ein Moitzim Rishus HaYachid Zu le Rishus HaRabim Zu. A person is not allowed to carry out from this Rishus HaYachid to this Rishus HaRabim. Ve'ein Machnisim Rishus HaRabim Zu le Rishus HaYachid Zu. And a person is not allowed to carry in from this Rishus HaRabim into this Rishus HaYachid. So it's not permitted. And if a person did carry out or carry in b'shegig, if it was done b'shegig by mistake, chayav chatas, he's chayav to bring a carbon chatas. The maze that if he did it on purpose, onush, he's punished with karis, v'niskal, or with skila, depending if all the conditions are in place that a person can be chayav skila or not. So with that we introduced the Rishus HaYachid and Rishus HaRabim. Continues the brisa. Avol yam ubika, but an ocean and an open area of fields, vistavanis, and the bench area, that's the area that was between the stores and where the public street was. There was an area in between, like we mentioned, where the owners of the stores would sit on benches and sell what they had to sell. Va'akarmelis and the karmelis, and the Gemara will discuss what does it mean, va'akarmelis. So these four cases are a karmelis, and eina lei Rishus HaRabim, v'lei Rishus HaYachid. They are not like the Rishus HaRabim, and they're not like the Rishus HaYachid. They're not similar to either, and they're similar to both at the same time. And therefore, they have the chumras of both, as we'll see. A person's not allowed to carry around within the karmelis. Although we didn't mention it, but the din is that a person is not allowed to carry in a Rishus HaRabim more than daled amos. The same is true with a karmelis. A person cannot carry in a karmelis more than 4 amos. Ve'im nasa v'nasan, and if he did carry within it, since it's only midrabanan, pater, he's pater from any punishment. Ve'ein moitzim miteicha Rishus HaRabim. A person cannot carry out of it to the Rishus HaRabim, v'loyim Rishus HaRabim l'teicha, and not from the Rishus HaRabim into it. And the same with the Rishus HaYachid. Ve'ein machnisin Rishus HaYachid l'seicha. A person cannot bring in from the Rishus HaYachid into it, v'loyim miteicha Rishus HaYachid, and not from it into the Rishus HaYachid. Ve'im hoitzi ve'hichnis, and if he did any of these, since it's only midrabanan, pater, he's pater from any punishment. Now that we're completed the karmelis, which is midrabanan, we're going to mention a din related to Rishus HaYachid, which is also midrabanan. So we're going to go back now to the Rishus HaYachid. Chatzeris shel rabim, yards that are of the public, and we'll explain what that is in a moment. Umavayis she'einan mefulashim, and roads that are not open from both ends. So these are basically situations where it's a Rishus HaYachid benatera. It's 100% considered a Rishus HaYachid. However, there's a dynamic over there that creates a problem, and that is what we're referring to here is if there's a number of homes that open up to one yard, or we have those yards surrounding a road. So the road has yards all around it from 3 sides. Now it's closed on one end and only one side is open. All these two situations of the yard and the closed off road, they're both a Rishus HaYachid. However, there's a dynamic there, which is that relative to the other space, it seems like a Rishus HaRabim, because we have a number of individual homes which seem like a regular Rishus HaYachid, and they all share the courtyard, which then seems like a Rishus HaRabim because the public is using it together. So too with the closed-off road. We have a number of yards around the road, and then the road itself is used by everybody equally. So it seems like a Rishus HaRabim, and therefore, in order that a person shouldn't come to think he could carry from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus HaRabim, it's necessary to make an indication, a sign that this is a Rishus HaYachid. And the way that's done is with an eruv that shows that everybody is joined in this area together as an individual. So therefore, eruv mutar, if they made an area eruv, it's mutar to carry from the Rishus HaYachid into them, and from them to the Rishus HaYachid, and also within that area, lo yeravu, but if they did not make an erev asurim, it's also to carry. Now we're going to continue on to the last case, which is the Mokim P'tur, the last Rishus. Adam oimid alei eskufa, a person's allowed to stand on the doorstep of his house. The doorstep is a Rishus, that's a Mokim P'tur. Noitel mi balabayis v'neisamlei. He's allowed to take something from the balabayis or give something to the balabayis. Noitel ma'ani v'neisamlei. He could take something from the ani or give to him. He's allowed to carry in and out of the Rishus HaYachid and in and out of the Rishus HaRabim. Since it's a Mokim P'tur, there's no Isser there whatsoever. Continues the Brisa, ubilvad, and as long shalayitim balabayis v'neisan l'ani, he should not take something from the balabayis and give it to the ani, ma'ani v'neisan l'balabayis, or from the ani and give it to the balabayis. Although it's really mutter minatera, since the area is a makim p'tor. However, this could lead to a person to come to carry in a way that's usher, since the person sees that he's able to carry, get around the isser of carrying by simply standing on the doorstep. It becomes lax to him, and he could come to carry. Therefore, the Rabbanan made that usher for the person to actually carry from the balabais to the ani, or from the ani to the balabais. But since it's only made the Rabbanan, v'im natol v'nasan, if he did this transfer, which we said is not allowed, shlashtan p'turim, they're all patur. So this is the opinion of the Tanakama. Acherim say iskufa mishameshes beis rishuyos. The doorstep serves to be one of two rishuyos. It's not going to be a makam p'tur, rather it'll be one of two rishuyos, and it'll depend. Bisman shah pesach pasuach. If the door is open kilafnim, then the doorstep is part of the inside. It's a rishus hayachid. Pesach no. If the door is closed kalachutz, then the doorstep is like the outside. It's a rishus harabim. Now that we're going to speak about it, specific type of doorstep, an exception to the case of the doorstep. If the doorstep had the height of yud tfachim and it was 4 tfachim by 4 tfachim wide, so it's a rishus hayachid. It's a rishus for itself, which means that it's number one, it's a rishus hayachid. It's not going to be considered. Like we mentioned previously, depending if the door opened or closed, and it's not either going to be a makom p'tor, rather it's a rishus hayachid. But we're saying hareizu rishus la'atzma, it's a rishus hayachid for itself, which means that as a result, a person cannot carry from the doorstep into the house or from the house onto the doorstep, and that will be explained later in the Gemara. So with this, we completed the brisa that went through the 4 rishuyos, rishus hayachid, rishus harabim, a carmelis, and a makom p'tor, and we spoke about the dinim related to them.